How to talk at home to yourself. Mia often felt a familiar knot of anxiety tightening in her stomach whenever she needed to speak English. Despite her years of study, words seemed to vanish, leaving her tongue-tied and frustrated. She longed for the confidence she saw in others, effortlessly expressing themselves without hesitation or fear. She spent hours observing how people speak English, captivated by their natural rhythm and intonation. Online videos became her window into authentic conversations, revealing nuances textbooks often missed. Their casual banter and fluid phrasing inspired her deeply, yet the gap felt immense. The biggest barrier wasn't grammar or vocabulary, it was self-consciousness. The fear of sounding silly or making errors paralyzed her, especially when she tried to converse with others. She knew she needed a safe space, a judgment-free zone where she could experiment without external pressure. One quiet afternoon, feeling particularly disheartened, a simple idea sparked. How to talk at home to yourself. It seemed strange at first, almost childish, but the thought lingered. What if her own four walls could become her private English-speaking sanctuary, a place without judgment? Hesitantly, she began. "Good morning, Mia," she whispered to her reflection, then a little louder. She described her breakfast, her plans for the day, even critiquing a movie she'd watched. The initial awkwardness slowly faded, replaced by a growing sense of liberation and articulation. This daily ritual transformed into her secret weapon. She held imaginary conversations, debated fictitious points, and even practiced giving speeches to an empty room. This consistent self-dialogue allowed her to build fluency, test new vocabulary, and refine pronunciation without pressure. Mia realized that truly understanding how people speak English wasn't just about mimicking. It was about internalizing patterns. She started actively listening, not just hearing. She paid attention to common phrases, idioms, and subtle ways native speakers connected their words, analyzing flow. Listen and practice became her mantra. She consumed podcasts, audiobooks, and YouTube channels tailored for English learners, but also ventured into authentic content. She repeated sentences, paused to rephrase, and shadow read alongside audio, internalizing rhythm and stress of spoken English. Her headphones became her constant companion. She listened while cooking, walking, and even before bed, immersing herself in the sound of English. From casual interviews to TED Talks, every piece of audio was an opportunity to absorb natural language, expanding her comprehension significantly. She would listen to a short segment, then pause and try to summarize it aloud to herself, incorporating new vocabulary. This powerful combination of listen and practice bridged the gap between passive reception and active production, making her learning process dynamic and incredibly effective. One day, while struggling with a complex sentence during her self-talk, she remembered her teacher emphasizing why reading is so important. She hadn't fully grasped it then, but now the pieces clicked. Reading wasn't just for information. It was a cornerstone of language acquisition. She started reading diverse materials, simple news articles, short stories, and eventually novels. Each page exposed her to new vocabulary and context, reinforced grammatical structures, and broadened her understanding of English sentence construction. It was a silent conversation, enriching her lexicon. Reading helped her see entire phrases and sentence patterns, not just individual words. This improved her overall comprehension and allowed her to predict meanings, fostering a more intuitive grasp. The more she read, the more comfortable she became with English prose intricacies. She even started reading aloud, practicing pronunciation and intonation. This integrated approach, linking why reading is so important with her how to talk at home to yourself strategy, proved incredibly potent. Her spoken English began to reflect sophisticated structures, sounding natural. Mia knew consistency was key. She meticulously crafted an English study plan for talking, dedicating specific times daily to different activities. This structured approach removed guesswork and ensured steady, measurable progress, preventing her from feeling overwhelmed by the vastness. Her plan included 15 minutes of self-talk every morning, describing her day's intentions. In the afternoon, she allocated 30 minutes to listen and practice with a new podcast, pausing frequently. Evenings were reserved for reading, solidifying her understanding of complex structures. Beyond self-talk, her how to practice English routine diversified. She started recording her voice and listening back, brutally honest about fluency. She used online speech recognition tools, challenging herself to achieve perfect scores, steadily improving articulation and rhythm. As her confidence grew, she cautiously sought opportunities for real conversation. She joined online language exchange groups, initially just listening, then slowly participating. This gradual exposure to actual dialogue was a crucial step, applying home practice to live interactions. Her English study plan for talking wasn't just a schedule, it was a comprehensive strategy. It encompassed listening, reading, and active speaking practice, all designed to reinforce each other synergistically. Each component played a vital role in building well-rounded linguistic ability. She learned that language acquisition is not a destination, but a continuous journey. Her English study plan for talking evolved as she discovered new resources and identified areas needing more attention. Flexibility was key, allowing her to adapt and maintain motivation over time. Mia now fully understood why you must listen. It wasn't just a recommendation, it was the foundation. Listening provided authentic input necessary for understanding natural speech patterns, intonation, and colloquialisms that textbooks couldn't convey effectively, making real conversations possible. Without constant listening, her spoken English would sound stilted and unnatural. Listening taught her the musicality of the language, the stress on certain syllables, and the rise and fall of sentences. This auditory input was crucial for mimicking native-like pronunciation and fluency. Beyond mere words, listening offered insights into cultural nuances and implicit meanings. She learned to pick up on sarcasm, humor, and subtle emotional cues conveyed through tone of voice. This deep comprehension was only possible through consistent exposure to authentic spoken English. Initially, sustained listening was tiring, but she persisted, knowing why you must listen. She started with shorter segments and gradually increased duration, training her ear to process information more efficiently. This persistence paid off, transforming listening into an engaging activity. Every podcast, every video, every song added a layer to her understanding, building a rich tapestry of linguistic knowledge. The cumulative effect of her diligent listening practice was astounding, enabling her to comprehend faster and more accurately, connecting her to the English-speaking world. Mia's journey taught her that how to talk in English isn't a single trick, but a multifaceted process. It involves deliberate practice, active listening, extensive reading, and most importantly, overcoming the fear of speaking, beginning with comfortable confines of home. The self-talk, initially awkward, became her anchor. It built a reservoir of confidence that spilled over into her public interactions. She realized that every minute spent practicing how to talk at home to yourself was an investment in future fluency, proving its immense value. By truly observing how people speak English, Mia developed a keen ear for natural phrasing. She no longer just translated word for word, but began to think in English, formulating thoughts directly. This shift was profoundly empowering, making her conversations feel more organic and less forced. Her listen and practice routine was relentless yet rewarding. She moved beyond passive consumption, actively engaging with content, repeating, paraphrasing, and even trying to predict what would be said next. This active engagement accelerated her learning curve dramatically. Why reading is so important became incredibly clear. It provided the structural backbone for her spoken English, ensuring her sentences were grammatically sound and vocabulary diverse. Reading expanded her mental database of words and phrases, making her expression richer and more precise. Her diverse how to practice English methods, from recording herself to using online tools, pushed her beyond comfort. Each method addressed a different aspect of fluency, from articulation to rhythm, ensuring comprehensive improvement in her speaking ability, making her sound polished. The structured English study plan for talking was not restrictive but liberating. It gave her direction and purpose, turning an overwhelming goal into manageable daily tasks. This systematic approach ensured continuous progress, keeping her motivated and focused on linguistic aspirations. And finally, the unshakable truth: why you must listen. It was the constant input that fueled all other aspects of her learning. Without it, her efforts would lack authenticity and native flair. Listening was the lifeblood of English acquisition, an indispensable part of routine. Mia's journey wasn't just about learning a language. It was about transforming herself. From a shy, hesitant speaker, she was evolving into a confident communicator, ready to embrace new challenges. Her initial fears steadily transformed into enthusiasm, a profound shift in her approach. Every morning, she'd stand before her mirror, a comfortable ritual now. "What are your plans today, Mia?" she'd ask herself in clear English. This daily, how to talk at home to yourself session had become as natural as breathing, a fundamental part of her routine. She still watched how people speak English, but with a new, analytical eye. She wasn't just admiring. She was dissecting, identifying patterns, and integrating them into her own repertoire. This active observation accelerated her assimilation of natural conversational flow. The listen and practice cycle had become second nature. A new podcast would trigger a flurry of internal and external repetition, reinforcing vocabulary and intonation simultaneously. This symbiotic relationship between input and output was the engine of her progress. Her reading list grew, from simple stories to complex articles. Why reading is so important wasn't just theory, it was experience. Each book opened a new world of thought and expression, deepening her appreciation for the language's richness and versatility. How to practice English became an exciting journey of discovery, not a chore. She experimented with new apps, challenged herself with impromptu monologues, and even started writing short daily reflections in English. Every attempt, every small victory, fueled her motivation. Her English study plan for talking was her map, guiding her through the vast landscape of language learning. It kept her focused, preventing overwhelm and ensuring she tackled all essential aspects, from pronunciation to fluency, in a systematic and organized manner. Why you must listen echoed in her mind during every waking hour. Whether it was background noise or focused study, the sound of English was always present, an invisible teacher constantly refining her ear and deepening linguistic understanding. It was indispensable. As her fluency grew, so did the challenges. She moved from basic sentences to expressing complex ideas, from understanding simple narratives to following nuanced discussions. Her dedication ensured she met each linguistic hurdle with increasing confidence and skill. Mia's transformation was a testament to her self-discipline and persistence. She understood that proficiency in English wasn't magic, but the result of consistent, focused effort, day in and day out. Her journey inspired others who witnessed her remarkable progress. The initial awkwardness of how to talk at home to yourself had long vanished, replaced by a comfortable, productive routine. This silent practice had laid critical groundwork, allowing her to make mistakes without judgment, building a strong foundation for public speaking. Observing how people speak English had given her an intuitive feel for rhythm and intonation. She could now hear the natural flow of conversations and mimic it, making her own speech sound much more natural and less robotic, a huge personal victory. Her listen and practice approach was anything but passive. She actively dissected sentences, mentally repeated phrases, and even attempted to predict upcoming words. This deep engagement with audio content truly cemented new vocabulary and grammatical structures, proving incredibly effective. The profound impact of why reading is so important was now undeniable. Her increased vocabulary and understanding of complex sentence structures directly translated into clearer, more articulate spoken English. Reading nourished her linguistic brain, expanding her capacity for expression. How to practice English evolved with her. She explored new speaking prompts, joined online debate groups, and even started journaling in English. Her methods constantly adapted, ensuring learning remained engaging and challenging, preventing stagnation and pushing her further. The English study plan for talking proved to be her ultimate guide. It transformed vague aspirations into concrete actions, ensuring a balanced and comprehensive approach to her language acquisition. This framework was instrumental in her success, providing structure. Why You Must Listen resonated deeply. It was the constant stream of authentic language input that kept her learning vibrant and relevant. Without it, her efforts would feel isolated and artificial. Listening connected her to the real world of English speakers, providing essential context. Mia's English blossomed. The hesitant whispers transformed into confident conversations. Her once limited vocabulary expanded, and her pronunciation became clear and precise. She could now articulate her thoughts and feelings with ease, a direct result of consistent, diligent efforts. It wasn't just about how to talk in English anymore. It was about thinking, dreaming, and even feeling in English. The language had become an extension of herself, a new lens through which she experienced the world, enriching her life in countless unexpected ways. She embarked on new adventures, confidently engaging with people from diverse backgrounds, all thanks to her newfound fluency. Her journey from struggle to success was a powerful reminder that anyone can master a language with the right strategies and unwavering dedication. Her meticulously followed English study plan for talking, combined with the initial courage to talk at home to yourself, truly unlocked her potential. It was a testament to structured learning and self-belief, proving consistent effort yields remarkable results over time. Mia's story is a compelling testament to the effectiveness of strategic practice, especially the blend of self-talk, immersive listening, and extensive reading. Her transformation from hesitant learner to fluent speaker demonstrates that consistent effort and a well-designed plan can unlock linguistic mastery.